friends! Today is January 21st, which apparently means it is National Hug Day. Now, if you ask me, it seems like every day has an attachment of some sort to it. If it's not like National Eat Your Spinach Day, it's National Shove a Stick Up Your Asshole Day. And today just happens to be National Hug Day. So, let's have some fun with it. Let's talk about video game characters that we would hug. And I'm going to talk about my favorite video game characters. And then at the end, I have to pick one. I'm going to pick one character that I can hug. Out of all of these I'm about to talk about, I can only pick one. I haven't thought about this ahead of time. I'm just going to start talking and we'll see how it goes. Things are probably going to get a little weird. Now, if someone were to be like, hey, Britt, you can pick one video game character to hug, who would it be? Okay, one of the top contenders that comes to my mind first is definitely Link. And there are two different Links, right? You have young Link, you have little kawaii Link, you have a little cute little boy Link who's all adorable and like 11 years old, and oh, you're so cute. And then you have man Link, you have adult Link from Ocarina of Time, you have Fierce 80 Link, you have the Twilight Princess Link, and then that's the Link, ladies and gentlemen, that I'd want to hug him, just, for science and for personal reasons, and also to tell him that, you are awesome and amazing, and I love every single game that you're in. All of them, even Wind Waker. It's a good game. Don't judge it by the graphics like I did at first. You'll regret it. The next character that comes to mind is Zidane Tribal from Final Fantasy IX. See, Final Fantasy IX is one of my favorite games ever. The caveat, the thing with Final Fantasy IX and Zidane is that he is only 16 years old. Now, when I started playing Final Fantasy IX, I think I was 13 or 14. So to me, a 16-year-old was a much older guy, and I loved his attitude. I liked his personality. I like how he was just kind of blunt and just totally chill the way he spoke, and more so relaxed and laid back. And I was like, I gotta find me a guy like Zidane. In real life, granted, I was 13 or 14 and I didn't get out much, and boys were kind of a mystery to me back then, so I stuck to video game character men. That's what I did. But now, seeing as I'm 27 and Zidane Tribal is 16, that's just a little weird, so for that reason, I would avoid giving him a hug. It would probably be more of like a pat. Like, this is really awkward, we have a lot of history together, let's just get this over with. I admittedly have a huge crush on Lara Croft. Now, I'm only familiar with Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider, the latest reboots of the franchise. And let's just get this out of the way. Her body is like, her face is like, and her accent just makes me want to do unspeakable things to her. But all that superficial stuff aside, I really love Lara as a character. I love how she's, she follows and does whatever the fuck she wants to do, and she doesn't care if, she has to scale a mountain that's 10 times the size of the Eiffel Tower. She's going to fucking do it, and she's going to defy death, and she's going to look like a badass. And she's going to get some cuts and bruises along the way, which, in my opinion, just add to her sexuality. So, I would love to grab Lara Croft. Grab. Now, dramatically switching gears and getting away from the people I would want to bang, let's talk about Bowser. Now, Bowser is important to me because he was the first evil bad guy that I ever encountered in a video game. I was 5 years old and playing Super Mario World. So for that reason, I feel like I'd want to give him a hug and be like, bro, like, you introduced me to a whole new line of assholes. Like, I never knew before you that there were dicks in video games. I wanted to kill my main character. So you introduced me to that. You were the first one. You popped that cherry. Like, let's hug it out. That said, I'm pretty sure he's pretty big around, and his spikes probably wouldn't be comfortable to hug, but, it's one of those things you just have to kind of deal with. Switching gears again to people I would want to bang, Alistair from Dragon Age Origins. He is one of the first characters that I became, like, quite literally obsessed with. And people ask me all the time, like, what is it about Alistair that you love so much? And all I can say is he's just super charming. He's so naive, but he's a badass, and he's built, and he's like, he kills Darkspawn and he slays them, and he knows how to use his sword and his shield. Yeah, he does. And he was a really good tank for my party. And just something about him, man. So I would like to hug him. For that reason, I would hug Alistair. Plus, Dragon Age Origins is, one of my favorite games ever, and I'm obsessed with Dragon Age. I have a shrine behind me. Ooh, right there. It's all Dragon Age. The next character on my list is Ciri, not from your iPhone, but from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And unfortunately, due to spoilers, I can't really go into why I love her so much. no, I can't say anything. I'll just fuck it all up for all of you. So just know that I would love to hug this girl for certain reasons that I cannot tell you because some of you may not have played it yet, and spoilers suck. So, Siri. Speaking of The Witcher, the next character I would want to give a ginormous hug to would be Geralt of Rivia, the main protagonist from the Witcher series. Now, depending on what Geralt we're talking about, it depends on what kind of hug he gets. If we're talking about Geralt from The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, he gets a nice, like, oh, you're so amazing, you're like a father figure, kind of, sort of, because he's more reserved, he's older, and he's just not about that life anymore. And by that life, I mean he's not running around banging and every single girl he sees, which is something you can practically do in the first Witcher game, and it's quite amazing. And now if we're talking about the first Witcher game and the second Witcher game, I would say I would like to do a hug and then maybe something else, see where it goes. Because he is just a badass and he is a monster slayer and he's, is the white wolf. And everybody needs a little white wolf in their life. Okay, what? I would love to give Garrus from Mass Effect a hug. Not like a sexual hug in any way, shape, or form. Like, I'm not into the interspecies shit, but just like, I feel like Geralt's my buddy. I am Shepard, and he and I are just like this, man. We're really cool. I mean, things got a little awkward at one point when I led Geralt on, and I was one dialogue away from getting it on with him or whatever it is they do. I gotta go watch that sex scene. But we can put that behind us, and I think I just think Garrus is just one of the coolest buddies that you can have in video games. For that reason, I would just hug the shit out of him. And finally, because I could talk about this topic forever, the last thing I would want to hug that came from a video game would be Gladys, Gladys, however you pronounce that machine's name from the Portal series, because that hunk of technology makes me laugh so goddamn hard, and I've never laughed that hard in a video game ever, except for Portal and Portal 2. Like, it was just freaking hilarious. Oh my god. So many funny parts from that game. Like, remember when you're falling and I say Gladys is like, how are you doing? Because I am a potato. It gets me every time. I don't think I delivered it quite as well as she did. So with all of that said, I have to make a decision as to which character I would hug given the opportunity. I can only pick one. Okay. This is what I've come up with, and some of you might call it cheating, but I don't care. If I could just simply hug one character, just a nice little hug, I think I would pick Adult Link, because just iconic, like, Zelda series, that's helped mold me as a gamer growing up, all that cliche, cheesy shit. Now, if I could hug one character with the hopes of it possibly turning into something else, because I'm a pervert like that, I would have to pick Alistair. I would have to. I just, I've seen a lot of those those romance mods on YouTube. No shame, not ashamed in admitting that. And I'm a little curious. Don't judge me. All right, friends. With that said, it is your turn. Let me know if you could hug one video game character. Who would it be, and why? And your reasons can be just as wrong as mine are.